Hello and welcome to the next video in my LPL Summer 2022 preview. I'm covering Ultra Prime today. I've already covered LGD and Thunder Talk. So going into the summer split, I have Ultra Prime as a 15th ranked team. They've come off of a 12th place spring split where they went 5-11. The Academy team, much better. Finished 9th overall out of 24 teams at 14-8, but they did even better than that, finishing second, losing to BLG in the finals of the LDL spring split. So there's a lot of interesting pieces here on this team where they could get better. Unlike looking at Thunder Talk and LGD, it's a little bit harder to find, oh, well, this piece or this piece might be a guy to replace a starter. And I feel like Ultra Prime has some pieces here to get better. They did not make any moves in between the splits, which is a bit concerning. I wish they had made moves, and I'm going to get to that now. So top lane and jungle, I have ranked, I believe, like 16th out of 17 teams. Their situations are not great. They were splitting time between ZS and Allies this past split in top lane. Neither one getting to 8 CS per minute. ZS having the edge over Allies in that he had 0.4 CS per minute higher. The KP was very similar. KDA was similar. Allies did provide a bit more kill pressure, 5% higher kill share, making use of his gold share of around 20%, whereas ZS did not. But ZS had a bigger champion pool, 10 out of 24 instead of 7 out of 17. I mean, either way, I really don't believe either one should be playing. I think going into summer, they should bring up Harry from LDL. Harry had a 4 KDA, 8.41 CS per minute. That is the range we want our players to be in top lane. The 8 to 9 range is very good. Even against LDL competition, I would like to see how he looks at the LPL level. Move one of these two guys, ZS or Allies, out of the organization for something else if you so choose, and bring Harry up. I think Harry should be getting an opportunity. Participated more in fights, 8% more often. His kill share was almost 10% higher than ZS's. And his champion pool, 12 out of 37. So he can play a lot of different champions, and he farms well. And I want to see, I mean, Ultra Prime is the team for me that I am a fan of, I guess. Everybody has a team that they like have a soft spot for that stinks, and Ultra Prime is that team for me. I wish that they would move on from these dual top laners and go with somebody else. As far as jungle's concerned, Hacker. Hacker was a jungler that tried to facilitate. He did not try and farm. His farming only 5.16%, which is okay. The lower end of where we want it. 65.6 kill participation. Did not provide a lot of kills though himself. Only at 14%, which did not make it really worth what his gold share was at 18%. 9 out of 41 champion pool. Now, you look at their academy junglers. What do they have in the development system? Well, they used 2, Yakai and Whisper. Yakai, much better than Whisper. I will say that, over pretty much 1 CS every 2 minutes. He was pretty damn good. So, Whisper, however, did try and force the issue facilitating. His KP was 10% higher than Yakai's, despite having less gold, less kill share, 6 out of 10 champion pool. So it's kind of a pick your poison. Which one do you want? I don't think their jungler situation is solved at all, looking at this, and that's when we get into mid lane. I think that either Cryan, which Cryan, we know who Cryan is. He is solid. Is he fantastic? No, but he's solid. Now, Zhao Caobao, I'm going to say Zhao Caobao. I don't know how to pronounce his name. He did great in Academy. Absolutely great. His farming, 9.6 CS per minute. It makes me feel like I either did a typo or they did a typo. Maybe it's 8.6. I mean, I saw 9.6. The fact of the matter is, that is huge. If it's 9.6, that is 1.3 higher than Cryan. That is incredible. Get him in mid lane now. Whether you move him and you find a jungler or you move Cryan to find a jungler, I think that move should have been made yesterday. Even if it's 8.6, I think it should have been made yesterday. KP is similar. Kill share is similar. Zhao Caobao has a little bit more gold share, probably because of farm. Champion pool, similar size. I think that is a move they should make. I think that is the clear, like, red flag here. This is how you make your team better situation. Bot lane, Elk. Elk is a player I have a real soft spot for. I think he is absolutely fantastic. He is very good. He hard carried this team at times. 35%, actually, no, sorry, 40% kill share. Like, 40% kill share is crazy. That's why I think Harry needs to come in. Zhao Caobao, give a little bit more opportunities for other lanes to give Elk Elk doesn't get a chance to kind of, get through laning phase. He gets attacked often because he is the carry. 961 CS per minute is solid. 26.8, 26% gold share is okay when it's 40% of the kill share coming from Elk. Rat is his backup. Rat 5.27, 5964. Also solid. So maybe you think about moving Rat. Move Rat to get a jungler. I think there are moves to be made here to improve this team. Kill share is much lower. Gold share is slightly lower, and his KP is lower. Doesn't get into as many fights as Elk, and does not get fed as much as Elk, and his champion pool is smaller. 5 out of 37, that's not where you want it to be. That's very small. Maybe he does need a little bit more time, but I think there's other teams that could look for a guy like him to improve their team or their system. Support, Xiaoxi. Support, we don't go over as many stats. Nobody cares about the KDA of a support. I mean, not KDA, sorry. You care about KDA a bit. But you don't care about CS per minute. You don't care about kill share. I care about how many times they get into fights, what their champion pool is like. Xiaoxi leaves a little bit to be desired in KDA. 70% KP. And 11 out of 41 champion pool. 11 out of 41 is solid. That's above 10. That's good. Messiah, it's probably pronounced Messiah, but it's not spelt that way. His KDA is over 1 higher, slightly lower KP, but 9 out of 30 champion pool. So he probably has a solid champion pool too. So, Elk and Xiaoxi have been together for a minute here, but maybe you think about moving Xiaoxi or Messiah to try and fix this jungler issue. Fix the jungling issue, and I think this team can really contend for playoffs. I think Elk is fantastic. There's a lot of room to grow for this team. There are clear ways to improve it, and I hope that they do get improved for my sake, watching them in the morning. I think 15th is definitely the low point. 12th was where they finished. I think 15th is the lowest they can finish. I don't think they're at an LGD or TTG level. But this is where we start getting to teams that aren't lost, like when you look at when I look at Thunder Talk and LGD, I'm like, they might, they have a lot of problems, right? But now we get into the teams like Ultra Prime, OMG later today, Anyone's Legend, and all of a sudden they have guys. And you're like, this guy's pretty good. What do they do? Can they move this guy for this guy? Can they do this or this? Oh, all of a sudden they're a 10th place team and can make playoffs. I think you can do that from 15 onward. It's just that 16 and 17 are on their own. So comment down below with an opinion of your own if you're an Ultra Prime fan, if you watch the LPL. If you watch the LDL, what do these guys look like? Are these guys ready for the LPL? Are they not? Do you think that Ultra Prime should move Cryan, Xiaoxi, any of those things? Subscribe to the channel if you like daily League of Legends content. Earlier today, I did my news and notes video where I covered 4 teams from the LCS and the moves they made this past week. I also did a video covering Rumble Stage Day 4. If you missed a game, I do the play-by-play, going through the game and my notes and breaking it down for you. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for more content.